Welcome, golfers, to the next episode of the Read It, Roll It, Hole It podcast. Today, we have got Jake Hutt on the call. Welcome, Jake. How are you?
I'm well. How are you? Thanks
I'm
for having me on. I'm stoked.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm excited too, man. You're a bit too cool for me, so I've got to try and act a bit cool today. But I'll probably
No.
I probably should just try and be myself, because if I try and be cool, I'll miserably fail probably.
Oh, the accent's already cooler than me, so it's hard for us to keep up with that accent. So you're doing great.
I don't know, man. I think your accent. But anyway, I'll stop flirting with you now, and we'll talk some shit. So you are a golf coach. You've got a co-founder of the Drive Box, which I want to talk about. What that's all about. Influencer, would that be fair? Like YouTube? Yeah. Do you like?
I hate the word influencer. I can't stand it. But I guess technically that's a thing now, and so I guess you could call me that. But if it were up to me, I would never use the word again.
What would you call yourself?
I like to look at myself. I'm I'm an instructor. I'm an entrepreneur. A musician. I don't know, a couple words, but influencer to me just sounds so lame for whatever reason. I don't know. When I picture an influencer, I just picture someone that taking pictures of themselves holding stupid products, looking like an idiot. I don't know. That's just kind of that might have come across a little brutal, but anyways.
I'd agree with you though. I'd agree with you. I think the entrepreneur, that's definitely evident from watching you on Instagram.
Thank you. Yeah. Whatever. I'm just here to have fun and help people. That's the bottom line. Make people laugh every once in a while. Throw some golf in there. Help people play better golf. Laugh. I don't know. That's throw some tunes in there too. Get people moving their heads, bopping their heads a little bit.
Happy days. It definitely, got me bobbing my head. Unfortunately for the neighbors when I was watching your content, and I think it's a sort of breath of fresh air watching your content. It's not the typical content, I would say. I've got a video hopefully to share with the listeners of a putting tip that you've done recently, but your content, so a lot of singing in it.
Yeah.
What's the vision? What are you trying to create?
Well, I just like making music. I've always liked making music, so this is my excuse to. And I always had a hard time. I was what am I going to write about? You know what I mean? And so I was like, okay, well, golf gives me kind of a clear subject to play around with words. And okay, I want to do a putting tip. So just, keep things light and simple. And so that kind of just gave me a medium, something to write about. I just love making music. People talk shit all the time. It's so funny. Can't stand your music, whatever. I think the majority of people tend to like it. Plenty don't, but I just love making it. That's really the bottom line. I love sitting down. It's my favorite thing to do is just sit down, and start just messing around, with the auto-tune vocals over a beat and just see what comes out. And I just love it. And it kind of just morphed into, at first it was my goal. I've been playing golf my whole life, but I really started taking it seriously. I didn't start taking it seriously until, my early mid 20s. And so, I'm like all of us watching a lot of YouTube videos and looking what other coaches are doing and kind of studying them and seeing kind of whose style I liked and whose I wasn't so fond of or whatever. And originally it was just super short tip, right? There's lots of long content. And I was like, oh my God, if I have to sit through another 45-minute long video to get one or two nuggets, this is brutal. Why don't you just say that, the 2 seconds of what you're trying to say and, cut all the, kind of cut everything else out. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, and Instagram was the first platform I started posting to, and you could only do minute-long videos at the time. And so that really influenced kind of my style. Was just, let's just keep it as short and simple as possible. Cut out everything you don't need so you can go to a video and you get the little nugget right there. And then then I put a song at the end. I was like, I want to play some G with my friends, but they won't invite me because I suck. And it was just tip, no music. It was, pretty dry, short, simple, then music. And then it kind of just over time, I was like, fuck, why don't I try and blend the song with the tip and kind of turn it into something fun? And so here we are.
Happy days. It is, it's great fun. Have you got a, can you sing us a putting song, or can I set you a challenge that before you leave, you sing us with the Read It, Roll It, Hold It name of the podcast, can you give us some sort of a, some sort of a song?
Read it, roll it, hold it. I'll see what I can do.
Putting you right on the spot.
Let me chew on that and then come back to me sometime at the end of the episode, and I'll see if I can put something together.
We're definitely going to get you singing on here, man.
Read it, roll it. Well, I suck at singing. And I got to throw the effects on there to really make it sound good, but fuck it. I'll come up with something. Read it. What is it? Read it, roll it, hold it.
Read it, roll it, hold it.
Read it, roll it, hold it. Okay. All right, cool. I got that down. I'm terrible at freestyling too. I'm not like some epic freestyle guy. I write everything down. I look at my lyrics and then I'm not that cool. I'm not that cool.
We'll find out how cool you are in 25 minutes when you've got to present your Read It, Roll It, Hold It song.
Sounds good.
He's already thinking about it.
Sounds good. I'm already thinking it probably won't be more than 2 lines.
That's fine. It doesn't need to be. So just going back to Drivebox, the driving range on wheels.
Yep.
Which is making golf more accessible. Talk to me about the vision, about why you and 2 other guys partnered up to make this big dream.
Yeah. So Adil, the co-founder of the company, I mean, he's really the brains behind everything. So he is the founder, in my opinion. I'm the golf guy, the CGO, Chief Golf Officer. He wanted to put a simulator in his house. He lives in San Francisco. There's not enough space. So, he was like, asked the wife. Obviously, the wife said no chance. So he said, okay, I'm going to build one. I'm going to throw one in a truck. She was like, okay, yeah, sure you are. And sure enough, he did. So he's in his garage, speccing everything out, measuring, how, like, what's the smallest possible space that, still feels comfortable. How tall does it need to be? And just kept iterating and eventually went out to found a manufacturer, sent him the specs, and got the first prototype delivered. And that was, we'll say, December 2020. Earlier than that, because we met November, I think, what was that? November 2020. That was kind of like day one, and we didn't really make anything official until months later. So we've only really been a company now for about 6 months. But the whole idea, is he made that prototype and started kind of just showing it off to people, seeing like, does this work? Will people have fun? And sure enough, he was parking it at Stanford, and students would come in and hit, and they loved it. And it was, you could kind of see the vision. It's like, holy shit, this doesn't exist. And there's just so many places around. Like there's not that many, like in San Francisco, for example, there's one place to hit balls. And so I think, in the back of his head, he knew it would turn into a business, but I don't think that he knew that it would kind of go this quick. But the whole concept is like what you mentioned, just make golf accessible. And so where there are, places where you don't want to, invest in real estate, if it's too expensive, you could essentially get one of these and stick it anywhere and not have to tear any walls down, not have to go through any of the permitting bullshit that lots of cities have. It just makes golf really, really, really easy to get to. Now, obviously the truck itself, like that, there's some difficulties and obstacles with moving it around and all that, which is a big challenge and what we're trying to figure out now. But it's been a whole bunch of fun showing up, and people, they look at it and there's what on earth is it? And, it going from the prototype to what it is now. The first one, we had a generator, had to, pull the thing. It was loud. The roof was a lot lower than it is now. We just stuck pool noodles on the side and wallpaper, Walmart, like, I don't even know, Walmart side wall padding, carpet, like shitty Walmart carpet on the side. So the first one, it had like a dangling net coming from the top. And the one we have now is it's got studio foam on the sides. It's super sleek, solar power, got Tesla batteries in there. So you can just park the thing and it just charges itself. So it's pretty cool.
Awesome. Looks pretty cool. And I think this would be a nice opportunity for you to share with the listeners that you do a crowdfunding part for that. Yeah.
So it's through Republic. Anyone can invest in these angel companies. They passed some law that, because before you in order to invest at a company of this stage, you have to be an accredited investor or had to have a certain net worth to be able to invest. And now they've taken that away through platforms like Republic. So you can go to republic.com-drivebox and you can invest $150 all the way up until all the way up to $30,000, and obviously anywhere in between. And it gives you a chunk of the company.
Nice. That's cool. Good. Okay. So going back to your content that you create, I just want to share with the listeners one of your videos. Hopefully this will work. It might not, but it might. So yeah, here's one of your videos on green reading, right?
If you suck at reading greens, I do. Start using your feet. All you gotta do is stand in between your ball in the hole and feel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your feet can feel slow, but not your eyes. Whatever you feel, that's how many fingers you hold up next to the cup. Pressure on the left means the ball's gonna fall to the left. So put your fingers up, okay, to the right of the cup. Like this? If it's a 2, then it'll look like this too. You aim here, hit your putt, get your speed right, it's all you gotta do. If you don't wanna suck.
There we go. So as a aim point instructor, I absolutely loved that. I hadn't seen it before, and I was like, that's super cool. I love it. What I loved as well when that video is playing is you in the background. You just clearly love this, man. You're like, you're into it. You're like, most people watch themselves and go, oh, that's embarrassing. But you're like, you're loving yourself, which I think is great. Do you know what I mean?
It's just having fun. Yeah. It's like that song. Like I'm proud of that song. I like listening to it. And so when someone plays it, yeah, you want to get into it. You don't want to sit there and be embarrassed. Fuck that. You know, I don't know. Be proud of it. Wear it. I get plenty of shit for it. It doesn't matter to me. You know, it's fun.
Absolutely. So going back to the content in that video, aim point, did you learn that off someone? Tell me what your thoughts are on aim point.
Yeah, aim point. I've never taken I should say I watched the video. So I bought the video on the website, watched it a ton of times, and then, have YouTubed it and Googled it. And the guy that I taught next to at Stanford was a certified instructor. So I was always picking his brain on it. I still definitely do need to get certified. I absolutely love the whole system. There's more to it that I need to learn, but I thought just kind of putting up a really, really simple kind of version. And what I love about it most is, even they like it's evolved over the years from what I understand. I listen to a lot of Mark Sweeney's podcast and him talking on GameForge, his new stats base, which I'm obsessed with. I love their podcast. Him and Brian do a great job. I'm constantly listening to them chat, and they're just so smart. And I get a lot of kind of nuggets from them, but listening to him talk about how it's evolved. And what I love about it is it seemed like it used to be really, really complicated. And I spent a little bit of time trying to figure out those charts, and then it was too much. But now I just love the fact that they've kind of boiled it down to, here's kind of a starting point. You can move the hands closer, a little bit further for uphill, downhill. And it's, at the end of the day, it's an art. You have to own it. It's, if you feel something here or there, you can kind of add it to that. It's not like a hard, it has to be here. You have to aim there. So they give you some flexibility. They tell you, it's at the end of the day, it's a good starting point. You'll know if it's breaking left or right to left on every putt. And I think even just that, just telling people, listen to your feet. And I've got one of those slope boards. I don't know who made it, but you can kind of just feel the different percentages. And once you become attuned to that, and at first, students are like, I can't feel the difference. You just keep trying. And obviously bringing the digital slope on a green, I think is super, super fun for the students too. And it's like, even just, I know it's breaking left. I can at least commit to that. Putting is now a whole lot easier than using your eyes, right?
Absolutely.
So I use my feet on every putt.
Good, man. That's what I loved about that video is, you said your feet won't lie, but your eyes will, or the other way around. I'm trying to
something like that. Yep.
Something like that. And it's true. It's so good. And by the way, the guy who invented that board you've got is Roberto Chino.
Okay.
a crazy Italian man who's in Turin,
Unreal.
in Italy. You've got to go and see him and drink red wine with him. He's cool.
Oh my God. I must have I've probably sold 300 of those things. I get asked all the time, where do you buy it? I send him the link.
He probably will buy you a glass of wine then.
Yeah, couple bottles. We'll call it even.
Definitely. You don't know how much his bottles of wine are though. No, he's a good guy. And yeah, I think, you know, what you're saying there is that it's what I love about coaching Aimpoint is that it's a system, but it's got flexibility to work for you. And that is the secret to Aimpoint. Is it is a system which is field based, but then you've got to be adjustable or have the ability to adjust to different environments and etc.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
that's cool. I'm glad you're enjoying it. That's good. I'll tell you another tip you put on there, which really confused me, was in the backswing you twist the grip to the left, and on the downswing twist the grip to the right. Talk to me what that's all about.
So that one, I got a one of those blast motion sensors, right? And I think everyone just thinks of putting like like the putter face has to. Well, I think what I was trying to get to is using your hands and understanding kind of, without telling people about torque, how the hands can twist and turn to close the face more or less. And so the more you twist the face, I think most people, I would say, I guess what I was getting at, think of the putter as, being this open close motion where the putter is going to open, it's going to close. You want to let your hands open. The more you twist it close on the way back, that's going to keep the putter face more square. There's going to be less rotation. And then to offset that on the way through, a little bit of twist open will, obviously, if you twist it too open, the face will be too open, but you can get a pretty kind of, we know there's no square to square, but they'll just, when you twist it close on the way back, there's just less rotation. And you can just playing around with the numbers, and it's like, okay, if my hands don't do anything, if I'm adding very little twist or torque to the grip, the opening and closing will be on like a medium putt, like 7 or 8 degrees open and then 7 or 8 degrees close. And we know Tiger's got quite a bit of rotation back and through, but I was like, okay, well, the more I twist it closed, and then if I twist it closed and I keep it there in turn, face is going to be too close. So just learning to kind of offset that. And I know that, doing that too far to a degree, you do see, you see people with the yips sometimes where they have that opening there kind of near impact. Right. So it was just kind of I just wanted to open people's minds, I guess. And it's like, try this, like, think of it like this. I think, for some people, will it work? Maybe. For some, it won't work. Some may think it's great. It's just a different way. I just never seen anyone like give a tip like that before. So I was like, oh, a little bit more square, a little less rotation. It may work for some people. I guess my goal with all my tips is I want it to be something that you can just go out and just try immediately and just see if it works for you or not. It's not by no means the tip's going to work for everyone, but they'll at least be simple and give you something to go play around with.
You're never going to get the tips to help everyone, are you? But I now understand the sort of the reason behind it. And I think being playful with the, that talking about the shaft motion of opening, close, and being more aware of the face cannot, you could do the opposite. You could go, right, give me more rotation. Now do a stroke of low rotation. Now, no twist in the shaft. So you can increase awareness and the golfer who has high rotation, that could potentially help them. So it could just be a little bit, that changes there. Maybe they're not putting so great. Maybe they have 10 degrees of rotation on the backswing, and who knows what's going on the follow through. But once they understand the twisting and what that does to the face, I'm just a huge believer. When I teach, I hate telling people how to move. I like giving them kind of parameters and letting them experiment, right? So if we're, doing a lesson and someone's swing direction is, 10 left, it's, let's aim a little bit to the right, or let's, swing a little bit more into the noodle. Let's see what number shows up. This is how you manipulate the number. Now it's up to you to figure out, and myself to figure out what works best for the student. But if they know how to manipulate everything, if they know how to manipulate the face, how to twist the face close, how to keep it open, how to swing left, how to swing right, it makes everything so much easier. And if a student gets in a rut when they're out playing, they can figure it out really, really, really quickly. Yeah.
just by being able to manipulate the number, not thinking that. I think the biggest misconception about golf is there's a swing, right? You want to be good, you should be able to do everything. Swing left, swing right, close the face, keep it open. You're going to need it all at some point.
Yeah.
And the better you're able to manipulate that, I think the faster you're able to get back on track when things go haywire, which inevitably happens to everyone.
Adam Young sort of models around that, isn't it? Have you seen a lot of his stuff? He talks about, I can't remember what he calls it now, but you know, being quite playful of hitting one out the toe, one out the heel, setting up on the heel, hit out the middle. That sort of playful practice is a great tip for all the listeners to go away and try for all areas of their game, I would say.
100%. Yeah, he's one of the best. His stuff is, when you really go down the learning, the science of learning, and all the research they've done, implicit, explicit learning, all that stuff. He hits it right on the head. The crazy part is how, and what he does such a good job of is explaining it, and the words he uses in his blog posts and everything are fantastic. And how simple it is. It still takes it's hard for people to understand. It's almost like too simple. It's like stupid simple. It's like you're so close to hitting a good shot. And, most golfers, they don't know. It's like, just close your face a little bit. Right. And that push slice is now a draw. Like literally all you have to do is close the face a little bit. How do you close the face? Add a little bit of twist, or add a little bit of throw, or that's, when it comes down to, lots of different variables. Maybe you're thinking of the wrist conditions or whatever, but the simplicity is, it's just, that's what I love about technology in teaching with TrackMan, is it's just so simple. Having two numbers up there. It's like, this is literally all you have to do to hit the shot you want. Got to hit the ground here. Your path just needs to be within range, depending on the shot shape you want to hit. And then your face needs to be in a certain place, and the ball will do exactly what you want, right? Hit the middle, hit the ground in the right place, face and path, match them up. And that's what's up.
Totally. I think that's the art of coaching, isn't it? With, like, I use Sam Putt Lab, and it throws out, 1,000,001 numbers, like a TrackMan, if you like, for putting. And, you can have like a wonderful discussion with a student about all the numbers, but they might leave with just feel a bit of flow on the downswing. I don't know what it might be.
Absolutely.
And that's the fun part, is just finding that one simple thought that gets them to interpret that information. So no, that's cool. That's good. So on your content, creating your content, what's your favorite type of drills you do? Like, what I'm trying to get at is, I think your drills are like really original. Okay,
thank you.
So
okay,
I love the obviously you cool. He's got his baseball hat outside backwards. He's got long hair. He's a cool dude. He's having singing, and but the actual content is great as well, and unique. Like that putting tip that was a bit random, but it was good, right? So what's your favorite content? And perhaps where I'm trying to go is, where does that come from?
It just, I guess it comes from, lots of just reading and watching content out there already. Not to say that I'm copying it, but I'm inspired by, like you mentioned, Adam Young. I've got a number of, I like to nerd out on, I like to go deep, and I like to, I'm reading The Science of the Golfer. I've been reading it for probably 3 years now. Read The Golf Machine 8 times. I like diving into kind of the science of things, and really taking that abstract kind of technical information and just throwing it into my interpretation of a drill. And so, The Science of the Golf Swing, that's Michael Jacobs, Dr. Nesbitt. It's the kinetics of moving a golf club, and I'll do my best to interpret what they're saying. I'll go play around with it, and then I'll just, I'll try and come up with a song, and then try and make it into a drill, make it digestible for everyone. So I'd say my inspiration, I'm always trying to read and think about information that no one else is reading, and then take that in and get creative with the drill, and then throw a song on it. When I really kind of started understanding the physics and moment arm, and what is torque, what is, all that stuff, it really opened my eyes to, when I I started reading all the classical golf books back in the day, and everything was very counterintuitive. Everyone was saying something, this works for them, that worked for them. And I knew there was really something missing. So now I can kind of go back and read these books and understand what they were talking about and why it worked for them. And really just get a better understanding of what's actually going on in the physical world, right? We've got this object, we're trying to move around us. There's, ground reaction force, there's pushing, there's all sorts of stuff going on. So, I'm just trying to understand and kind of, we're all on this journey together, trying to figure out the golf swing, right? And there's so much great information. Everyone interprets a little bit differently. Everyone explains it a little differently. And that's the beauty of it. So that's the funnest thing in the world to me, is ingesting that abstract information, thinking about it, trying it. That's the most fun part, right? And then trying to give everyone else out there a tip that'll help them kind of feel what I think I felt and what I'm trying to, help people with, something that hopefully can help more people than not. Right. So to make it universal enough so that everyone can look at it and maybe try it and see if it works for them or not.
Well, with that content then, so you obviously get a lot of feedback from your videos, good, the bad, the ugly.
Yep.
What's the one tip that you've given we'll go for a few here, if that's all right. So let's start with driving distance. Can you think off the top of your head of your favorite driving distance drill, or one that you've had a lot of feedback that has helped loads and loads of golfers?
I really haven't done a whole lot on distance.
Or just driving in general.
Yeah,
the speed sticks one you put out a few days ago was funny. I know
that one's more just funny, playful. Like, here's funny. A product. I don't even know if there was really a tip in there that would help anyone.
No.
It was just, messing around, hitting a shot. Corpro's in there. He's got a little cameo in there, which is funny. But like what I've found is, with just telling someone to swing faster, like, it sounds so stupid. Like, every lesson I give, someone wants to swing faster. For the most part, the only thing I'm doing is just usually telling them something that pisses them off. And then, saying, okay, now take it out on, try and swing faster, and just, here's the number. We'll put the swing speed number up, and just like make that number go up. Maybe try a little bit of a faster backswing. That's probably the best speed tip. I haven't even made a video on that one yet.
It's amazing how powerful the mind is to achieve that, isn't it? Like,
yeah, it's insane.
Just get that number to go up. Oh, okay. And they can do it.
Oh, you just saw your club head speed go up 10 miles an hour. How'd you do it? I just swung faster. Oh, that wasn't that hard, right? And then obviously the ball starts going everywhere. Like, well, the ball, that's not going straight. Well, that's how it works. That's why it's hard. So first you get the number up, and then we'll start, dialing in the face, dialing in the path. It's not easy, but it can be that stupid simple. Just swing faster.
Love it. Good. What about let's go low point control on either irons or wedges, or along that point.
So I did the one kind of trail hit back, lead knee out. I can't think of the words right off the top of my head here. Let me find it. This one right here.
Just sing it to us, man. Come on, just freelance it out.
Oh, I can't even. I there's so many songs, I can't remember any of them. This one, let's see. If you want to hit your irons like a pro in transition, add a little lateral, keep your left hip and your left shoulder low, right? Little lateral, left hip, left shoulder low. Super simple one to move that low point further forward.
Like it. And you got some more putting ones in there. My favorite subject, none of this boring long game stuff.
Love it. I've actually got, I guess the one that's up right now, use your left arm for short putts, right? I lock the wrist, don't let it move is the focus. Long putts, right wrist, let it flex like this. So
what's the thoughts behind that?
Yeah, so this one, it's just like, when you look at the wrist graphs on Hack Motion, the shorter putts, that left wrist is not doing a whole lot. The wrists really aren't doing a whole lot the closer you get to the hole. And I think most people, you look at their wrists, are all over the place, right? And but the longer the putt, like if you try and putt with locked wrist for a long putt, like your speed control is going to be terrible. So it's like, let your wrist, and obviously it's to a degree, everyone is going to overdo for the most part that right hand. But even if you just take a putter in your right hand and you just start hitting putts, 20-foot putts, anywhere from like 20, 30, even up to 40 with just your right hand, just letting it release. Like, it's crazy how far the ball will roll and how intuitive everything becomes, just allowing that wrist to, to flex a little bit through impact. And then as you get closer to the hole, the intent is, okay, like, your read does not need to be perfect. Your speed does not need to be perfect. Keep the wrist stable, hit the middle of the face. And as long as that, that's going to get the ball started and rolling on a whole lot better line than having the wrist flop all over the place. Right. So it's like and this is the next song I'm working on. It's like, I don't mention in this, but it's like the left wrist is the steering wheel, right? And then the right wrist is like the gas. And nice. Then you just use that accordingly. And so, I mean, I know it's helped me a tremendous amount. Like when I'm putting, any short putt, like my focus is just entirely, not to say that I'm right, but my left wrist gets a little floppy, and that'll a little bit of that, and you're going to miss those short putts. So just focusing on that left wrist, being in a good place, not moving it a whole lot, getting the shoulders, a little involved, I think can make a huge difference from those short distances.
I like it. I think it's smart what you're saying, in many ways there, that the wrists are a power source to give the ball more energy. So on longer putts, it needs more energy. So using that power source, if you don't use it, you're going to really struggle. So, don't lock the wrists out on the long putts. So that's cool, man. That's good.
All the tips, I just have to make sure that they're, if someone like yourself, a true like putting guru, can't say that I'm wrong, right? It's like, okay, like you want to, you know what I mean? Like, you want to give out information that's based on what's actually going on, and then really simplify it. Like, I love the graphs. I love nerding out on all that stuff. So I try and take that and then turn it into a tip where it's like, okay, that still works. That holds up.
Yeah. I think the degrees of freedom is in there, isn't it? That, on a shorter putt, there's going to be less degrees of freedom. Yeah. Longer putts, there's going to be more degrees of freedom in the wrist joint. Left side, right side. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I get it, but I hear you. That's cool. I've got a question here from a nice chap who I coach, Simon Howell, who's a fan of yours, and he really wants to know, what is your favorite training aid and why?
Ooh, favorite training aid. I would say I love the airplane, and I don't think this is technically a training aid. But just you probably see on some videos, I've got an airplane attached to the shaft. And that, I got that from Michael Jacobs. He when he's explaining the kinetics of how the club moves, and the, nose up, nose down, wings to the side. I just think it's just such an interesting way to look at the movement of the golf club at different parts of the swing. And it just helps simplify everything so much. In the backswing, you're flipping the airplane upside down, and the downswing, you're flipping it back right side up. The wings can make this motion. If you're whipping the club too far inside, don't let the wings, or you can think of the passengers in the airplane. We don't want them moving side to side a whole bunch, right? Maybe a little bit more kind of up and down. It just gives a ton of different fun ways to help students and to describe different parts of the swing in different ways. So
placing your attention on sort of club face awareness then, or club awareness,
what the club's experiencing, right? Like, let's make the passengers in the airplane do this or do that. And then, to me, the hands are they're so important, and the hands are smart. We use these every day, and just placing this, like you mentioned, just placing the attention in a little bit of a different place can make a world. Like, you will see the club do something different when you're trying to move it different. And it's okay to move it a little bit different. It's okay to think about your hands, because most people, whether they know it or not, they're applying all sorts of force and torque to the club in weird places. And as soon as they're told, like, okay, let's limit this, or let's think of it like this or that, you see changes immediately, within seconds. Now, are they going to go out and play with it? Probably not. It'll take time to practice, but they'll have a different, just hearing it a little bit different.
They've got to experience that, what different feels like, right? Rather than, I've been there. I'm sure you have, not stuck on the range, but on the range with, old Margaret, who's 17. She's hitting the ball, and you're like, you're like, oh, right, let's do this, let's do that. And, whatever you try, nothing's actually bloody changing. It's, so that placing your attention, I like that.
Yeah. You can, it's fun to get creative with.
That's good. Another question from Dave Webb is, who's your favorite player on tour and why?
Favorite player? That's a good question. I don't watch a ton of golf.
Why?
Favorites? I just don't have the time. I spend so much time on the business and on the content. I'll tune in on, obviously on the majors. I'll carve out some time to really dive in. But for the most part, I'd say, like, personality wise, I mean, Tiger obviously is, he's everyone's favorite golfer. We'll throw him aside. My favorite swing, Cam Champ's got my favorite swing without a doubt. I think it's just the most insane swing ever.
What do you like about it? What's insane about it?
Just the positions he gets into are just otherworldly. No one swings like him. No one swings that fast, that smooth. You see Bryson's coming out of his shoes. Like, it just looks like a ton of effort when he's doing it. Cam's just like smoothly, out there just hitting 130, 135 driver, club head speed, no big deal. Just hit these bullet cuts. I went out and watched him at the Silverado. It was unbelievable. He just hits it so pure, and the movement, like, I'm just, so fascinated with movement. His movement to me just looks so different. So he would be my favorite swing. And then personality wise, like, I got maybe a Cam Smith.
Yeah.
Got the mullet, the mustache. He just, seems to be out there having a good time. Cool guy. I don't know. He's just seems like a great guy to go have a beer with and hang out with. You know what I mean? So I go Cam Smith, and then obviously he's got an unbelievable golf swing too. What was he, 34 under this last week? Was a record, just insane.
Crazy.
Absolutely wild. Love
it. And who would you get to hold a 10-foot putt for a big wodge?
Well, I mean, I'm going, you got to go Tiger, right?
All day. Or his son.
Or his son. Honestly, yeah, that's a great answer.
Happy days. Okay, Jake, I know conscious of your time. Just share with the listeners where.
Yeah, no rush.
Where can they find you? What's the, like, what, we've got Skillist, we've got your podcast, Far From Par podcast. What else do you want to talk to me about?
Yeah, we've got my goofy podcast where we're on there. It's not so much, if you're looking to improve your golf, probably not the best place to go, but if you're looking to maybe laugh a bit and listen to some fun tour talk, that's kind of what we do. On the podcast there, Far From Par, which just Far From Par, type that in, that'll pop up. Drivebox.com. If you're looking to book a lesson with me or check it out, DRYVEbox.com. JakeHuttGolf.com. Don't really have anything on there yet. That'll just lead you to the booking page. And then, the Instagram, just Jake Hutt Golf, type it in, stuff will pop up. You'll find me. Do a little bit on Twitter here and there, but it's the same thing that shows up on Instagram. So TikTok, same thing. What you see on Instagram, TikTok, all the same shit.
I'm not on TikTok, but how's I bet your stuff's gone nuts on there, is it, or not?
Yeah. It does pretty well. The algorithm, you've got some videos that go completely nuts, some that do less. You never really know what you're going to get. So there's a couple there with a couple million views and other ones with much less and everything in between. So it's a fun platform. The comments are different. You get, it's definitely a younger crowd. But it's super cool to see that the amount of engagement with the younger crowd is there. And so it's all just one big experiment. It's a lot of fun.
You got everyone covered from Twitter to Instagram,
Exactly.
to down with the kids.
Yep, exactly.
Love it. That's cool. And Skillis. So if I want to,
Skillis, yes.
I want to lesson with you now. Come on, talk about aeroplanes. What do I do?
Yes, yeah. You can find me on Skillist. I'm doing much less on it. I don't know. I've been pretty shitty on it in terms of just time it takes for me to get back to students with just everything I have. I think I've probably overcommitted myself a little bit. So that there's no like Zoom or anything. You upload your swing and then you feedback from me. That's another option right now. So Skillist, that if you want a lesson, hop on that. It may take a little longer for the feedback than some of the other instructors. I'm just full disclosure there, but there's still a bunch of people that I love helping, love drawing the lines, love nerding out on the swing, whether it's me posting a drill or jumping in front of the camera and talking about, what's going on with their swing. A lot of fun.
Brilliant. That's cool. Really appreciate it, Jake. And I'm not going to let you go yet, just because you've got to sing me a song first.
Oh my God. I've been trying to figure out what.
Sing to me, man. Come on.
Read it, roll it, hold it. This is all I got. Read it, roll it, hold it. Listen to Ollie, and I'm gonna make you finish it. Read it, roll it, hold it. Listen to Ollie, and you'll
hold more pets. Have good fun. I don't know.
Read it, roll it, hold it.
Yeah. What is a minute?
Am I trying to get hold it? Listen to Ollie, and you'll. I just love the read it, roll it, hold it. I think that's sick. I could see that being on shirts. Just read it, roll it, hold it. And you won't blow it. And you.
Well, maybe I'll give you a bit more time, and you can put a proper video up for us on Instagram with the read it, roll it, hold it song.
Sounds good.
Awesome. All right. Really appreciate your time, Jake. Loved that conversation, and all the best.
Likewise. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.